Dear students, good evening to everybody. I hope you are doing well inside your respective homes. As I am always mentioning it that your examinations shall be taken in the month of March 2025. For that, you need to prepare yourself to the extreme so that you can crack these examinations with a nice percentage of marks. In modern times, your score needs to be very high. Dear students of class 10th, 11th, and 12th, today we are discussing how we can change an active sentence into passive one if the tense is past simple tense. Remember, past simple tense or past indefinite tense is a tense in which second form of verb is used, and if there is use of did, then with did there is first form of the verb. In past simple tenses, we describe an action or series of actions that happened in the past. But question arises, what is an active sentence or an active verb? Active sentence or active verb is that verb in which the subject dominates the verb, whereas the passive voice or a passive verb is a verb where the subject of the verb is acted upon. For changing active voice into passive voice, you have to keep three things in mind. First, you need to recognize the sentence in which sentence and its tense. You have to recognize the tense in which the sentence is given. And second thing, you have to identify subject and the object of the verb. And thirdly, you have to also keep in mind objective forms of the pronouns or subjective forms of the pronouns that are in the sentence if subject or object are pronouns. Let's quote an example. She caught a bird. Here, she is the subject, caught is the verb, and bird is the object. And don't confuse with that object is predicate. Object means action receiver, subject means action doer, and verb means action. While predicate is that part of a sentence that contains verb and tell us something about the subject. So I was talking, she caught a bird. Here she is subject, caught is verb, and bird is object. Caught is the second form of the verb, hence it is the past simple tense. So if I am going to change it into passive voice, how I will change? Recognize its object, that is a bird. A bird was caught by her. So it gets changed. A bird was caught by her. It with every singular thing we use was with the third form of the verb. Remember, in passive voice, always third form of the verb is used. Take one more example. Rashid played cricket. Here, Rashid is subject, played is verb, and cricket is object. And played is the second form of the verb, so the tense in which the sentence is given is past simple. And Rashid is its subject, cricket is object, played is verb. And I will change it. Cricket was played by Rashid. If you are going to write it on the answer papers, cricket was played, it is also clear because the rest of the things are understood here. Well, dear students, when we change active voice into passive voice, you have to remember three things. First, you have to recognize the sentence or tense in which the sentence is given. You have to recognize the tense of the sentence. Second, you have to identify subject and object. And thirdly, you must know what are the subject and objective forms of the pronouns used there. Take one more example. Ahmad Ahmad brought a cat. Ahmad brought a cat. Brought is the second form of the verb, so it is past simple. Ahmad is the subject and cat is the object. And when I am going to change it into passive voice, a cat was brought by Ahmad. So in passive voice, we use always third form of the verb, but while changing active voice into passive voice, the first thing you need to remember is that you have to recognize the tense in which the sentence is given. Otherwise, you will never change it. So, I am once again repeating the things for you. Past simple is a tense in which second form of verb is there. In past simple, we describe an action or series of actions that happened in the past. In past simple tense, you find second form of the verb or you find did with the first form of the verb. And active verb is a verb where subject dominates the verb, whereas passive verb is a verb where the subject of the verb is acted upon. How you can change an active sentence into passive one in case of a past simple tense. Take one more example. Rashid Rashid killed a snake. Rashid killed a snake. Here, Rashid is what? It is the subject. Killed is what? It is verb. Snake is what? Object. And killed is the second form of the verb. So its tense is past simple tense. And its object is a snake. It will get changed like this. A snake was killed by Rashid. This is how in past simple tenses we change an active verb into passive verb. But where a student of class 11th or 12th needs it. Dear students, one of the question in board exams is asked as report writing. For example, you have to act as a correspondent or a reporter of a particular newspaper and then to submit a report to that newspaper, and question like that is asked in the examination. While answering or while replying to the question on report writing, you have to file that report or submit that report in past simple tense, and it should be written back in passive voice only. So report writing is a question that's asked in the board examinations where your report needs to be in past simple tense or past tense, and it should be in passive voice. I hope you have got an idea how to change an active voice into passive voice in case the tense is past simple. In case of any confusion that strikes your mind after watching this video, you can call me on 7006671106 or catch me inside class physically. I will elaborate the things there to your satisfaction. Thanks. Be well said.